recently just had an evacuation order for some communities, and I figured it was going to get way worse, so I took off temporarily. I ended up staying with a family member down in Calgary for the last 2 nights. Fortunately though, the weather is starting to show some rain for the area, and it completely stagnated the progress that Wildfire was making. So, and it even reduced from 20,000 hectares to 19,000. So fingers crossed today when I arrive there that I don't have to deal with another evacuation, this time being a full evacuation. I'm really hoping and praying that this is something that doesn't happen anymore. But if it does happen, I'm prepared for it. In life, you got to always hope for the best, but simultaneously prepare for the worst. Because you genuinely don't know, bro, when the worst will happen. I woke up at 2 o'clock in the afternoon because I was gone to sleep for a night shift when I got a phone call from my mother saying that the wildfires are starting to get worse. It was quite the surprise nonetheless. And then I walk outside and I look out in the direction down south where the fire is located to, and all I see is just big clouds of smoke. I'll get some pictures for you guys to show you. Like, it's absolutely unreal what's going on up there. It's an absolute tragedy is what it is. It sucks because I genuinely love Alberta as a province. You know, I moved here 2 years ago without ever stepping foot in Western Canada, and so far, like, up to this very point, I've enjoyed this place. It sucks that this place is has a lot of high risk potential for wildfires and all that, because in all honesty, this is probably one of the best provinces in the country to live in. Obviously it gets cold and all that, and that could be a deal breaker for some people, but most of Canada gets this cold. Like, most of Canada gets to minus 40 in the wintertime. Like, I know if you guys see my previous videos when I documented the deep freezes we had, you know, most of Canada gets that cold in the wintertime. And it doesn't stay at that temperature. It's always up and down between minus... We had a warmer winter. It was between minus 5 and minus 30. Big fluctuations throughout the months in winter. But aside from the cold winters, this place is genuinely just beautiful. Lots of nice meadows and beautiful forests. And you go down south and you got the Rocky Mountains. You can see them in Calgary, that's for sure. It's a great place, and it is a shame that, you know, you get all these wildfires happening all across the area. But I guess that's what happens when the place is dry most of the time out of the year, and heat gets up past plus 30 for a lot of the time in summer. I remember not that long ago up where I lived, it was plus 27 degrees Celsius, and that's friggin' hot, man. That's hot for May. We don't normally get temperatures like that back home where I'm from until July. Like temperatures near plus 30. But this is a very different place than back home, I guess. The main thing I wanted to touch on in today's video though, bro, is like, when you go through stuff like this, you gotta keep a clear mind. You gotta stay calm. You can't panic. You know, I left early, but during that time of me leaving, I stayed calm. I tried my best best to get a hotel. I couldn't get a hotel because they were all booked. So I called up my family down in Calgary and drove the extra 3 hours, and I had a place to stay. Something to be very grateful for. I gotta film more of these car vlogs, man. So the weather's getting really good for it there now, I find. Don't have to wear no 3 layers of jackets or anything, or none of that crap. Just whatever I got on now, just get in the car and go. Be awesome. But yeah, bro. Your mind will literally determine where you end up in this life. And quite frankly, the same applies to whenever an emergency situation happens or an urgent situation happens where you have to immediately do something for your survival. And you know what? If you do go through an evacuation, there's going to be tough emotions. Of course there is. You are leaving your town that you've been living in for all this time, however long that time may be, and you're all of a sudden gone somewhere where you hardly know anybody, and you have no other choice but to do so, or else you risk your life and your family's life. But you know that it's for the best that you guys have to leave. Life won't be perfect like that. This is how Mother Nature is. I'm very grateful that it's only a wildfire and not a tornado or an earthquake or a tsunami or any other type of crazy natural disaster that could potentially happen wherever you live. I think I've only ever experienced one other natural disaster before this one. When I was 15, I was in New Brunswick, and there was a tornado. There was a really bad thunderstorm because of a tornado nearby. We're very, very lucky we never had that tornado hit the town we were in. But yeah. Your safety will always, you will always have that safe environment as long as you have yourself checked up here. Also puts into perspective, like, I've been staying in the town now, I was in for a year straight, aside from me going on a trip to St. John's in November when winter just started down here. But you know, aside from that, I was staying in that town for all that time. It really makes me realize again how much I genuinely want to expand out in this life. I don't want to be stuck in that one place for the absolute rest of my life. And I don't know if you guys feel the same about the town you guys are living in. I don't know what it is about me, man. I feel like I have this fire inside of me to get out and explore, and I need to find a way to unlock that freedom in order to make that happen. And you guys should do the same thing. If you guys are not passionate about what you're doing now, you should try and unlock freedom and provide value to everybody around you, man. You know, I'm very grateful, and you know, I'm always praying to God that I'm thankful that I have a job that I have at 20 years old that pays amazingly well. That there's so many people on planet Earth across this whole world that are struggling so much. You know, a lot of people criticize Canada for it being expensive, but quite frankly, everywhere is expensive. Especially countries where income isn't so easily accessible and that the cost of labor is so low. So although, there are many areas of improvement in life, especially like for a lot of people around here, and especially for myself, living somewhere I don't want to live and that's currently on fire or has a fire nearby, we still have so much friggin' stuff to be grateful for. Like, seriously. The amount of unemployment that was in my hometown was astronomical. I grew up on welfare, me personally. Thank God my family are finally getting compensated for their pension. They're finally retired. I'm very grateful that that is their reality now, because quite frankly, I don't believe they deserved it. And that's another reason why I think my life needs to improve drastically, so that I'm able to provide for the loved ones I have in my life. I hate to see them suffer. I really do. I don't know what you guys got going on for your family situation, and I really hope that you guys do have family around. But man, like, I just feel like I need to do more. I feel like there's way too much. I wouldn't say too much, but there's so much more to do. There's absolutely so much more to do. And it kind of infuriates me that this wildfire had to happen to set me back a little bit. But at the same time, I'm grateful. I'm a firm believer that you genuinely don't fail in this life, and that hardships and setbacks and all that, they're all lessons to teach you things. Everything in life is a lesson. You don't lose, you learn. That's the kind of mindset I have. And if you adapt this mindset to your life, man, it's going to be so friggin' hard for you to lose as well. Because how are you going to lose if you just genuinely think you got it? And you kind of earn patience too as well when you adapt that kind of mindset as well. What's going on here now? They still got this construction going on, this bridge between Leduc and Edmonton. We just entered Leduc and I'm trying to get out of it. I'm on the highway trying to get to Edmonton, and yeah, it looks like we still got this bridge to go through that's under construction. But yeah, man, don't let these hardships get to you. I'll even tell you another story of a hardship I had in my life when I was 15 as well, before I went to cadet camp. So, before I went to cadet camp, I actually ended up breaking my hand. Never told this story on the channel before. I ended up breaking my hand because I was 15. I was full of testosterone growing, and I made a stupid decision to punch the wall in my bathroom in my parents' house. But yeah, it was a very sporadic decision I made. And in making that decision, I ended up setting myself back for a very significant amount of time. But you know what? During those moments, that's when I initially learned that lesson of, this will sound cliche, but whatever doesn't kill you in this life, it's only going to make you stronger. It's only going to callous your mind. If any of you guys ever read David Goggins' book, Can't Hurt Me, he talks a lot about callousing the mind and how all these different hardships you go through will allow you an opportunity to become a stronger individual. And you know what? Like, I couldn't agree more. Very valid, solid point you made there. how you have to grip an iron bar to callous your hands to make them stronger. Same thing for your mind. Your mind is very well a muscle that can be strengthened. When hardships like this happen, whether it's breaking my hand or evacuating town because of a wildfire, you just gotta remain calm, remain stoic, you know, hope for the best, prepare for the absolute worst, and be prepared to fight through it. It's gonna suck. It's gonna be hard. But in life, you really gotta choose your hard, to be completely honest. That's the kind of world we live in. A lot of people are scared to spend money because they think it's going to set them back in life, but really that might be the one thing that's holding them back. Spending a bit of money to learn, to get an education, to move so they can position themselves in a more proper location. You gotta do what you gotta do. Doesn't mean that things aren't impossible. Whatever you tell up here is right. If you tell yourself you can, you're right. If you tell yourself you can't, you're right. It's that simple, man. Seriously. It's that freaking simple, man. Traffic on Highway 2 going south. What is going on today? A lot of people leaving Edmonton. I'm not sure if there's a lot of people that live in Leduc that work in Edmonton or do business in Edmonton. I'm not sure what goes on down there. I'm not down here often enough to know, to be honest. But there is a lot of traffic congestion this morning. If you guys are watching this video and you've went through a similar experience where you've had an evacuation, or you might be currently going through an evacuation, you might be living in Fort Mac right now and you're watching this video. If you're watching this video and you're experiencing it right now, you're going through hard times, know that God loves you. God will guide you to great things in life, and everything's going to work out, man. Believe that everything's going to work out. It will work out. I pray to each and every single one of you that you will be guided to where you're supposed to be in life. I'm a firm believer that God sees everything and all, and He will allow certain people to be in your life. He will allow certain circumstances to happen to you because He sees things and you don't, man. He sees everything. He sees all the hardships, all the negative talk behind your back. He sees it all, man. I'm a firm believer in that. If somebody exits your life, man, it was probably meant to happen. God probably positioned you in a way to allow that to happen safely for you. Even the town you evacuation taught me patience. It taught me to be more attentive to certain details. And it was also a reminder that there's more to life out there than that town. A lot more. So don't forget to get out and explore a little bit every now and then. Especially if you live somewhere where you got some nice mountains or some nice tall trees in the forest and nice long trails to go explore. If you have access to the woods, man, you're already winning in life, to be honest. I'll be honest though, these cities are cool and all to go explore every now and then, but I'm slowly becoming more of a outdoors person. I've always been an outdoors person because I grew up in it. I had desires for a city, and I still like the city. Don't get me wrong, the city is nice. I have no problem driving through a city. But there's always something about those outdoor trails and those nice views of like big mountains and tall trees all over the place, man. It's just something that's so refreshing and so intriguing to be able to see all nice greenery and all that, you know? Even in the wintertime, seeing nice tall mountains in the wintertime is so refreshing. It's amazing to see. Well, anyways, guys, I'm gonna let you go here. I just entered Edmonton. I can see the city skyline from here, so that's looking pretty nice. Okay, I'll leave you guys go for now. I'll give you guys an update when I get the chance there. See what's going on with these wildfires. I'll see you guys then. Well, as you guys can see, it's been consistently raining out there. It was raining when I arrived yesterday and continued on again today. It is May 18th, the day after I was driving there in the last clip, and yeah, pretty significant difference. But as you guys can see, I made it back safely to my apartment, and majority of the people are still here up in the northern part of the city. It was mainly the southern communities that evacuated, but a lot of people still evacuated. They still made the voluntary choice to evacuate as a result of that evacuation order that came out there 2 days ago. And honestly, I don't blame them because you really don't know, right? But at the end of the day, everything is looking a lot better. That wildfire seems to be getting more and more under control as the days go on, and hopefully that it is able to remain that way. But yeah, I'll let you guys go here. Get this video up for you guys so you can have a look for yourselves. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day wherever you are, and that you are staying safe out there, especially if you're out involved with this whole evacuation. If you're a local watching, or you might have some other hardships going on, I pray and I hope the absolute best happens for you, man, because nobody deserves to be going through these hardships like this. But without further ado, like this video if you've enjoyed. Subscribe to my YouTube channel for more videos just like this on your screen. And without further ado, my brothers, you guys bless up and take care.